I am Maria Garcia de Fleury. The chapel of Our Lady Untier of Knots has just been inaugurated with great solemnity in Venezuela at the seminary of the Pauline Fathers in the La Union sector of El Hatillo. At the end of a beautiful designed and cared area, the small chapel exudes great peace and is designed to be a very special place for prayer. Father José Torres, superior of the Paulines, accompanied by Cardinal Baltasar Porras and the Apostolic Nuncio, Monsignor Alberto Ortega, consecrated the altar and the chapel in a solemn ceremony attended by a large group of faithful. A place to find peace in prayer and untie the knots of our lives. The devotion to Mary, Untier of Knots, is some 300 years old because Christians know that through Mary, every knot of our heart, every knot of our conscience can be untied. Unlike many Marian devotions, devotion to Mary, Untier of Knots, arose through the intercession of Our Lady rather than through an apparition. The story behind Mary, Untier of Knots, tells of the German noble Wolfgang Langenmantel and his wife Sophie, who were on the verge of divorce. A distraught Wolfgang turned to the Jesuit priest Father Jacob Rem for advice. At each meeting, the two prayed together to the Blessed Virgin Mary for their marriage of Wolfgang. During their final meeting on September 28, 1615, Wolfgang gave Father Rem the wedding ribbon he and Sophie had placed on themselves during the wedding ceremony as a symbol of unity. Father Rem lifted the ribbon and placed it next to an image of Our Lady of the Snows. He asked Mary to untie Wolfgang's marriage knots. The ribbon loosened, untied completely, and turned extremely white. Years later, Wolfgang and Sophie's grandson, Father Jerome Langenmantel, was ordained as a priest and requested a painting in memory of the story of his grandparents. In the painting, Mary unties the knots of marriage. One angel hands her the knotted ribbon, while another holds the untied side and presents it. Mary also crushes Satan's head, which represents her Immaculate Conception. The dove above her head symbolizes the Holy Spirit. One can turn to the Blessed Mother for any knot because Mary's faith unties the knots of sin. The original chapel of Our Lady Untier of Knots is in Augsburg, Germany. Although this devotion especially helps those with marital problems, it also helps persons with family problems or even in impossible situations. Nothing is impossible for God's mercy. Even the most tangled knots are untied by His grace. And Mary, whose yes opened the door for God to undo the knot of ancient disobedience, is the mother who, with patience and love, brings us closer to God so that He can untangle the knots of our soul through His fatherly mercy. Why? Because with God, we always win.